10 men for 30 minutes, so you got sent off on 60. And also, when he says we're in a different place at the moment, yeah, you are. Yeah, you're 8th, whereas last year you finished 3rd. This is the question. I'll go through it again. Pound for pound, has there been a more embarrassing season in the Premier League history? I think no, right? I'll tell you why. They spent the best part, and I'm saying it's probably a bit more than that, of £600 million. At the beginning of the season, their brief would have been to at least challenge for the Premier League, maybe even try and win it. You spend over £500 million, you would expect some kind of challenge. 3rd last year they finished. They went Thomas Tuchel, then Potter. They're in their 3rd manager now. Frank Lampard, get this, has lost 13 of his last 16 Premier League games.
I've seen that.
13 of his last 16. And Chelsea have only won 4 Premier League games in the last 6 months. We had the World Cup in there, but still, they've won 4 Premier League games in the last 6 months. On top of that, you've got an owner, Todd Bowley, who clearly knows nothing about football, who was doorstepped before the game started. Sky Sports stuck a mic under his face. Great interview. How do you think you'll get on? The answer should be, going to be tough tonight, real tough. We're playing the European champions. No team has won the Champions League more than Real Madrid. My expectations will be, as long as the tie's alive, we can take them back to Stamford Bridge, and with our wonderful crowd behind us, we've got every chance of getting through to the last 4. That's the answer. His answer was, oh yeah, we'll beat them 3-0. It's just embarrassing. It
is embarrassing. But when you look at Chelsea and what they've done and the money they've spent, you'd have to say it's not great. But you've got to think to yourself, when it comes to Premier League football, I know Chelsea's expectations have always been challenge for the league, top 4, right? But since they won the league, which is in 2016-17 was the last time they won it, this is how far they've been off the top spot. So the following season, 30 points. The season after that, which is the 18-19 season, it's 26 points. Then after that, 33 points, 19 points, 19 points, and they're currently 34 points off top now.
Wow.
So as far as the league goes, they haven't been challenging, however much money they've spent in the last, 5-6 years, they haven't challenged since they won it in 2016-17. So, and this is why I said it yesterday. I don't know if I said it on air or off air, but all of a sudden, Chelsea have become a cup team. You're so used to seeing Chelsea challenge at the top of the table with City and Arsenal and these teams, Manchester United, but all of a sudden they're better in cup competitions than they are league competitions. But when you look at the money that they've spent, certainly in the summer and this season, it's almost like there's no plan of action.
None.
No plan of action whatsoever. Okay, we've not got a centre forward, so what we'll do is we'll go and recruit one and get one that we feel is right now. But they've just kind of stockpiled wingers and midfield players, and although they've got a good squad of players, which I do believe they have, I don't think they've addressed the areas that they are most pressing. And for me, when I look at this Chelsea team, they need a centre forward and they need a goalkeeper. Because even last night, I looked at the first goal, which Benzema tapped in, and I thought, I might be a bit harsh on Kepa, but he almost just parried it nowhere.
Awful,
just
awful mistake.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't powerful where he just got reacted to it and it dropped to Benzema. It bounced in front of him, and I almost thought, could he have not pushed it anywhere else but where he did? So you'd have to say, on the grand scheme of things, with the expectation, with the money that's being spent, it is probably one of the most embarrassing for Chelsea, probably not in Chelsea's history, but
I think Premier League history.
Potentially.
When you start the season and your expectations are at least top 4 and to challenge, you spend over £500 million. And I said 8th, by the way, I apologise. 11th, Chelsea. Chelsea not even in the top half.
34 points off top.
I mean, it is probably the most embarrassing season anyone's. Pound for pound, right? I'm not talking about a team that finished with 15 points and went down. I'm talking pound for pound. The expectation levels at the beginning of the season, we talked about who would win it beforehand. Well, Liverpool will be up there. They've had an awful season. Man City, of course, they're there. You mentioned Chelsea in that conversation. They are 11th in the Premier League now.
But that's what I'm...
4 Premier League wins in the last 6 months.
But that's what I'm saying. And that's why, again, listen, I'll say it again. Since they won the league in 2016-17, they were 30 points off the top, 26 points off the top, 33 points off the top, 19 twice, and now currently they're 34 points off the top.
Embarrassing. 2 years ago, they were champions of Europe. Last year, they were champions of the world.
That's what cup team. I've said all of a sudden, this Chelsea team has turned into a cup team.
03717223344. Yesterday, Chris, a Chelsea fan, phoned up and told me that they would win. And I said, well, if you're right or you're wrong, phone up tomorrow and apologise, or I'll apologise. Is Chris there? Has he phoned up? He has. So Chris will be apologising. That will be fun in just a moment.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.